Yo, what's good, family? Welcome back to the garage and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm finally going to be changing out my plastic charge pipe in my B58 340i GT to this red one from FTP. Don't mind my engine bay, we're gonna get that cleaned up eventually. But as many of you guys know, the previous generation of this engine, these plastic charge pipes are prone to failing. They come plastic from factory, so changing them out definitely makes it much stronger. The process of removing the old one and installing a new one is pretty easy, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So first we're gonna undo these two connections right here connected to the charge pipe. Just gonna take a flathead right between that plastic part and pry it up. And then we can squeeze on them and pull out. There's actually a third connection on the airbox that you want to undo as well. Then you want to take a 6mm to loosen the clamp on the airbox. And then you can separate the top part of your inlet from your airbox. It's just held in by 3 grommets, so just pull up on it. Then you want to loosen this clamp up with a 7mm right here. A little hard to get to. I've actually turned it around for easier access. After that, your inlet can just be pulled up and out. Now, after you have pulled your top portion of your inlet out, it's good practice to go ahead and put a clean microfiber. I just got a t-shirt right here. I'm gonna put that in there, make sure nothing falls in. And there's 3 connections to disconnect the bottom portion of your inlet. It's 2 vacuum lines, one right here and one down here. It's a little bit harder to see. And then there is another connection that we'll get with the screwdriver. So we'll get this top vacuum line, just gotta squeeze down and pull. 1. This one is gonna be hard to see, but I'll get it and show you. 2. And then again, that wire connection. And you can pull that out too. After those 2 vacuum lines and that connection is disconnected, the only thing holding the bottom portion of the inlet is that C-clamp. So I'm gonna take this pick tool and just get in there, pull towards the passenger seat a bit. And then we can reach in there and get our C-clamp out. Now we can get that bottom portion of the inlet out. Just pull, you can wiggle it a little bit, it'll help. And unclip this vacuum line. And this will come out. Get the top portion of your inlet out. Now, after you've taken the bottom portion of the inlet off, there will be a black plastic piece preventing you from taking the C-clamp off the bottom portion of the charge pipe. It'll be sitting on it like that. You just want to go ahead and break it off. I've already done it. Now we can get our C-clamp off of the bottom portion of the charge pipe. A little easier to get. Now you want to take a T30 and undo these 3 bolts that connect the top portion of the charge pipe to the throttle body. All right, so now we got these screws out. Last thing we need to do, I almost forgot, we need to disconnect this little piece that holds these together. There we go. And now our charge pipe is ready to come out. Wiggle it out, watch these lines up here. Here's our old charge pipe. Now we just got to transfer these sensors over to our new one. This connection right here is a T15. And this one just screws out by hand. And they screw in the same way to our new charge pipe. And the new screw is actually going to be different. It's a 5mm hex. All right, well, I didn't have one of these before, but I do now. Got it. And this sensor goes on this way. 5mm hex in there. Snug it up. Now that we got our sensors transferred over, we can go ahead and put the bottom portion of the charge pipe back in. We already loaded the C-clamp and it should give way when we put it in. You just want to listen for that click. Give it a tug to make sure it's seated and won't come off. Now this is the coupler that came with the FTP Chargepipe, but I did order a longer one from HPS. Shout out to Thick Whips. I've heard of these popping off under high boost. So if you can see, this is a little bit longer on both sides. It'll prevent that from happening. So I'll put my first clamp on there. Make sure it's angled up for easy access. Snug that up real good. Slide the top portion in. Line that up with the throttle body here. Before we tighten that all the way, we'll go ahead and put these new hex screws, 5mm hex screws, to go ahead and secure the top part of the charge pipe to the throttle body. Now that we got our charge pipe secured at the top and the bottom, we'll go ahead and snug these clamps up. Now we can plug our connections back in. Now we'll go ahead and put our bottom portion of the inlet back on. I'm gonna preload my C-clamp in here. Scoop this back in. And again, you wanna listen for that click. There it is. Give it a tug, make sure it's not gonna come off. Reconnect that one connection we disconnected. Those two vacuum lines, one up top, one on the bottom. There we go. After you got the bottom portion of the inlet on, you can remove this microfiber or t-shirt. Put the top portion of the inlet back in. Like I said, I moved this back around for easier access. This bolt is actually pointing this way factory. So if you want to do that for yourself for later, it'll help. All right. I just got to snug that bolt up. After you snug that up, just give it a tug, make sure it's not going to come off. Put the air box back in. Slide your inlet back on. Reconnect your connection. And that is how you change your charge pipe out on your B58.